Welcome to episode 37 of the Realtor for Hoopers interview series. I am Adam Kemp, aka the Realtor for Hoopers. Today's guest is a graduate of Sand Creek High School in Colorado Springs, Jordan Phillips. What's up, my man?
Good. Every time I flick the wrist, you can bet that it's a switch. Realtor for Hoopers, welcome to the main event. I'ma give the people what they ask for. Whole squad moving like a task force. We move with military precision, accomplishing any mission. In 2020 division, just don't see no competition, don't see no opposition. We on top of the game, we not one and the same. I'm Stephen Curry, the range, I Allen out with the cross. I'm Kobe Bryant, the fade, I'm one that's calling the plays. Now what else more can I say?
Appreciate the time, man.
I appreciate you, brother.
So the first question we always ask everyone is, tell us your basketball story.
All right, man. So obviously I started playing basketball as a kid. Probably as early as I can remember. I played multiple sports, but basketball ended up being the one. I was a little taller, got a little taller, stayed taller. I used to do basketball, right? But I ended up loving basketball. So played basketball, middle school, high school, college, right? High school. Pretty fun for me. I was one of the top players in the state at the time, class of 2016. I was one of, I'm not going to give it an exact number because I don't want to be wrong.
Yeah.
But there wasn't too many of us from the class of 2016 to go play Division I basketball out of high school that year. There's guys that went, but out of high school, there wasn't too many that year. So that's pretty cool. I played at Florida Atlantic University my first year, got hurt. Had to end up redshirting, talking to a lot of people, getting some advice, good advice, not good advice. Ended up leaving. I should have never left. Just trying to chase. I don't know what I was chasing. I was like, man, I'm gonna go to junior college, maybe go play at Duke or something like that, right? Yeah. Like just whatever. Just not really knowing the game. So, like I said, ended up going to play junior college in small town in Pueblo, Alabama. Know that?
Yeah,
it's pretty small. So. Like I said, it was okay. I grew up there. I had to learn how to cook, pay bills, do everything, right? Like we had to pay our own rent. There was no cafeteria at the junior college. So junior college is really junior college.
Yeah.
Right? So I was grateful in the sense that it helped me grow up and learn things like that. Basketball wise, I wasn't too locked in there, I would say, because it was new for me. I was in a town of 5,000 people, country town. So it was very new for me. And then, like I said, I ended up coming back home to play at CSU Pueblo, which again, like it was. I feel like it was not meant to be, but it was just, I was like, I know they were recruiting out of high school. Out of high school recruitment, I had a lot of Division IIs, like tons of Division II offers. Top, like JuCo State, I think they had just won the national title.
In California, right?
Yeah,
JuCo State,
yep.
California.
I think they had just won the title. At the time, again, in high school, you really don't know, right? Everybody's like, man, all right, you don't want to play Division II ball. And I was like, nah, I don't, right?
Yeah.
And again, playing at Division I, junior college, and Division II, like knowing the difference between the levels, skill level, Division I and Division II is not too much of a skill level, right? Athletics and bigs, that's your biggest difference. Skill-wise, especially in guards, right? It's not too big of a difference. So again, I've been fortunate enough to play at all the levels, and so I've been blessed at that. So that's kind of like my background and my basketball history. Sometimes I feel like I wish I was still playing. My last year was during COVID, so again, kind of everything was shut down at the time. Didn't really know what was going to happen. Was I going to go play again? Was I going to play another year in college? Ended up just getting a regular job for the first time in my life, and that was different. So it was different because first time I had my own money. I was able to buy things. I got my own apartment, right? Moved out the house. So I was like, okay, I kind of like this. And then I quickly started missing basketball. So I was like, okay, what do I do? I have to figure this out. I got to figure out how to still be a basketball player, right? Or something. So I ended up reaching out, and I've been here for 4 years. I actually started with Coach Mike at the Bureau. We were at 24-Hour Fitness, and they were in the process of opening the gym. They were like mentioning about the gym and training and stuff, and I was like, you know what? doesn't sound like a bad idea.
Sweet, man.
So, yeah.
Well, so you've already so you've started that transition to being an athlete to like living in the everyday world and all that, because when you're an athlete, you get kind of just focused on your sport, and
100%.
everything else is like, okay, I got to go to school if I got to go to school, or if I got whatever. But I'm focused on training, taking care of my body, next game, practice, all that. So then you got to transition into this everyday world. And now, not only that, you've had to transition into being the father.
Yes, sir.
So
yes, sir.
talk to us about kind of the ups and downs of that transition for you.
First and foremost is the guidance. I would say the guidance for sure. Again, being in college, being a professional athlete, whatever it is, right? A high level athlete, you have a lot of free time, A and B, but what do you do with your free time? And then the free time or the time that you don't have, right? It's workouts at this time, weights at this time, study hall, right? You're still in school.
Your life is scheduled for you.
It's scheduled for you, right? Like you don't have to schedule your doctor's appointments. You don't have to schedule nothing. I didn't have to buy a pair of shoes for the last however many years of my life. So transitioning to being a big boy, right?
Yeah.
Again, paying bills, not just bills. It's like, okay, because again, when I was in college, I had to pay my rent, right? But it was just rent.
Yeah.
I got to pay insurance, car insurance, health insurance, everything, right? Groceries.
Yep.
You don't get a stipend for food anymore. You don't get a stipend.
You got to make your own food.
I got to make my own food. So, that I think, and that has a lot to do with it. But the biggest thing for me is not having a competitive spirit. I was just talking with somebody not recently about this. I'm like, man, I think that's been the hardest thing for me is not being able to compete, right? So it's like I find myself while I'm in the gym or I'm at home with my lady or my family or a friend or somebody off the street, I'm always competitive, right? Yeah. And again, for me, it's not I'm trying to be better than anybody. I just have that competitive edge, and it may come across it, right? Yep. Yeah, it's just how I'm wired. And so like people are like, man, you always trying to compete. I'm like, why not, right? Like that. And so I think, and I'm starting to put two and two together. I'm missing basketball, right? Or I'm missing that part of it, that competing, right? Yep. You see somebody when you're in high school, or you're in college, right? When we played Ohio State, you see they got a 30,000 person arena, right? They got everything, right? Yeah. And it's like, okay, these guys work for you. You want to compete, right? You're like, okay, I want to beat them. I want to be better than them. I want to work to get that, right? When you kind of grow up in the everyday world, you're just kind of out here on your own. Yep. Well, I mean, you have people, right? You got a supporting system, but in the sense of competitiveness, like there's nobody to really compete against, right? Like, you don't want to compete against your family.
You got to structure that in your life.
Yeah. So for me, that's been the hardest thing is trying to like, where do I compete?
Yeah. And then honestly, like for me, like I'm an old man that I still play 3-4 times a week because like, man, if I don't do that, I'm going to be the most irritable human. I got to get that energy out. Do you know what I'm saying? Like to me, if I don't get that energy out, I'm not as good at my job. I'm not as good as a husband. I'm not as good as a father because once you like poke at me, I'm going to snap quicker because I haven't got all that energy out yet. And so like, there's just something about like, okay, I cut across the lane. The guy just checked me and like, okay, now we got to check him back.
Now it's that pride. You got something that pride against, right?
Yeah. So there's something about that I don't know what the hell I'm going to do once I hang him up, but we'll figure that out. We'll cross that bridge when I have to. But
right.
So you alluded to it earlier. You're now training at Red Line Denver East.
Yes, sir. Home gym.
I love it, man. So give me something that like one thing that you excel at as a trainer, like all the skill work and like all that stuff. But what is something you excel at that like people can hang their hat on? If I send my son or daughter to Jordan Phillips,
First and foremost, let's take basketball out of it. It has to do with basketball. Let's take basketball out of it. I can guarantee your kid's going to learn how to be respectful and work hard. That's first and foremost. If they come in, they're not a hardworking kid, they're going to quickly figure out how to work hard. If they're disrespectful or they're disrespectful to their parents or disrespectful to their peers, to me, to any coach, right? They're going to quickly figure out how to be respectful. So I kind of pride myself. That's why I say it first before basketball. Right. Because like you said, obviously basketball stuff. That's what we do. But I think that's one thing that I really harp on is is respect and just work hard. Because if without those two things, it's impossible to do anything. Football, basketball, and life. So
now I'm going to stop you right there real quick, and then I want to get you back. You can go back to answering the question. But like, to me, any coach, any trainer, if at the minimum you help me raise a better human,
yes, sir,
I'm for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I want you to be good at your craft too.
Right.
But like, if you just make sure that you're helping me raise a better human in my son or daughter, we are good.
But sometimes sports isn't for everybody, and it's not going to be. But the sport now and what we're teaching them is going to help.
Man, the life lessons you learn in sport are going to last a whole lot longer than 99% of people's careers.
Yes, sir.
Right? Like, I mean, we all know the stats of how, like, playing high school, playing college, playing pro, playing NBA,
right.
Like all that.
Yeah.
So, like, let's raise better humans, and then at that same time, let's get work on whatever our individual skill work or whatever it is as in that sport. So, but anyways, go back to what you're saying.
So let's bring it basketball in. I think I really excel in games type drills, right? Like things that are going to translate directly to your game. So like some of my pro guys, right? Like I'll watch film. Like I'll get on and watch their games. Watch film, right? If you're in high school, I watch your game. If I coach you, right, I'm obviously watching your game. So we'll go over the type of offenses you run, type of sets. What is your most, like, where are you going to be most productive? Right? What do you do? Again, at the higher levels with my pros and stuff, right? It's more or less, again, breaking that type of stuff down. With high school guys, it's like, okay, this is going to translate in your game no matter where you're at, what you do. You have to be able to do these things. You have to be able to understand these things. You have to know these things, right? Because again, skill work, bro, like, I know everybody I know skill work like the back of my hand. I can give you a million drills, right? And they can all look great too. And some they are good, right? But if there's an issue with it's not translatable or things are not translating to an actual basketball game. So then they'll look at me or the high school coaches, right? They'll look at their trainers or they'll look at the trainers like, man, you're working out this guy, but you can't do nothing for me. It's like, because what are we working on? Like, what are you working on?
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, work on something that's translatable to your game.
Yeah.
Not Steph Curry's game.
Yeah, for sure.
Work on something that you know you will be able to do.
Yep.
So
be realistic. Look at the spots that your coach is putting you on the floor. You find your spots and whatever, and let's become good at that and find a way to read the defense and react and adapt from that. Not just being like, I can do a left, right, pull-up jumper. Well, like, there's very few times that it's just going to be this perfect scenario where you're going to, like, basketball is a game of adaptation in every millisecond and reading stuff and being able to adapt your body and doing things like that. So I love it, man. All right, well, next question is, I would say, Colorado basketball wide. So what do you think is good and not good about the Colorado basketball scene right now, the culture?
I don't want to be a negative guy, so let's start with the goods. Like I said, obviously I'm born and raised in Colorado Springs, so I can be biased or be honest with it, right? So the good in Colorado basketball is there's a lot of it. Everywhere you could turn, there's basketball. There's a lot more good things besides just the regular basics. But I do want to harp on like kind of like the other side of it, because that's where majority of
that's where the growth is going to happen.
That's where the growth is going to happen, right? Like, yes, there's basketball, yes, there's programs, yes, there's this, yes, there's that, like, yes, right? But we lack again the kind of the two things I'm saying: the discipline and the want to work hard, the willful, right? And I'm a parent, and so I can say it. I blame a lot of the parents. I don't want to be too whatever, but I blame the parents, man. Like you, there's kids that'll show up to something once a week, come to the games on Saturdays, do the same thing. I'll explain to them, show them throughout practice, explain to them like, yo, this is what you can work on, this is what you should do, this is what you need to be working on. Still only shows up once a week, gets in the game, and now parents are wondering why their kid is not excelling, why I'm yelling at them.
Yeah.
Right? Why, like all those things. It's like, you got to hold your kids accountable. And sometimes it's harder if you've never done it, right? So for my parents, they were amazing. They did everything right to my right. But neither one of them played college basketball, any sport. They didn't go to college at all, right? So when it came to being a college athlete, they didn't know how to guide me. They just knew they was like, yo, work hard. You just got to work hard. But they didn't know exactly how or what or, right, the type of attitudes, things like that. They didn't know things like that. So if you don't really know how to or what to expect, right? So you're like, man, my kid wants to play a pro or he wants to play college ball. But you've never done it. Not saying you can't guide your kid, but it's tougher, right? You don't have that edge, so you might be a little more, and coach been getting on me, you might be a little more sensitive to it than if you've been done before, and it's like, man, no, he needs that. Matter of fact, he needs it more. More of this.
Man, I kind of agree with you to the standpoint. How I always try to explain it to parents is that, let's say that coach is a boss 15 years from now. And that that boss says, no, I'm sorry, you didn't get your promotion or you didn't get your raise and whatever. Are you as a parent going to come right behind them and be like, hey, no, why aren't you giving my son a raise or giving him a promotion? No, he's going to be a 25-year-old man.
Yep.
Like, you've got to teach him like how is he going to react? Yeah. And then if he doesn't put the work in, just like if he doesn't put the work in at his job when he's 25, he may keep that job and but he's not going to grow in anything. He's not going to go up the ladder. He's not going to do anything. So like, we can't, like, we got to teach our kids to not only be realistic, but also be realistic within themselves.
Yep.
And be honest, like, yeah, I did half-ass that practice, or I haven't been really putting the work in and whatever. And yeah, I don't deserve the playing time. Right. Like, and part of my story is that, like, in high school, I ate like crap. I didn't take care of my body. I had some skills and whatever. And I didn't really get to play all that much in high school because I didn't know.
Right.
I didn't know how to take care of my body and whatever. Yeah. But once I got to college, I figured it out, and there I am.
Right.
And then that's helped that lesson that I had to teach myself. Mm-hmm. Now I benefit from today.
Yep. And
if my parents didn't allow me to learn that hard lesson, then I wouldn't be as good as I am today as a man in every aspect of my life. So I do kind of like that about the culture. And I think another thing I'll say that's getting better as a culture in Colorado is just an understanding of, like, and I'm just being honest, if you're the number 4 player in the state in Colorado, nationwide, that may not mean very much.
You may not be in the top 100.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, Colorado's got some really good players, and I'm not trying to say anything like that. But what I'm saying is there's places throughout the country that it's on a whole different level. Yep. And high school and JuCo and D2 and all of that. And so just be open and honest with yourself where you are in a national scope, because in the end, if you want to have a career in any sport, you got to be honest with yourself on a national scope, not just your little town or your little, all that. So that's something I think is growing that we need to kind of benefit more in Colorado.
100%. So 100%, bro. And piggybacking off of that is teams, playing for multiple teams. I played for multiple teams in high school to an extent, but everybody thinks you need to be on a certain team, a shoe team, right?
Yeah.
To get recruited. What if you're not a shoe deal type player?
Yeah.
Let's just be honest. That's where the parents have to come like, yo, man, like, and again, like some of these parents, they don't have an understanding, right? If you're you're in the circuit, 3SSB, the Puma, EYBL, right? If you're in the EYBL, the Puma, right? Like, everything is free. Everything else you have to pay for. You got to pay for the gear. You got to pay for the tournaments. You got to pay for the flight. You got to pay for everything to play there, right? It's good hoops, but again, it's still different levels, right? Yeah. It's like the kids that are in the circuit and getting everything paid for, not by the program, by the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's different levels. So it's like everybody thinks this when it's like, man, like, your kid, we might have 2 kids that are those type of players in the whole state, right? But there's 10 shoe teams.
Yeah.
Right. So and again, I mean, I'm just
I love it.
Just a coach.
Sweet, man. Well, let's transition to something else here. So I know from following you on across all socials and things like that fashion is really important to you, and
Yes,
you're a great follow, and I love seeing everything, all the fits and everything like that. So I'm going to ask you kind of an interesting question. If you could have one job in the fashion industry, what would that be?
Styling people.
Like a stylist?
I don't want to stylist for me, but I would love to style people. If you know anybody who's a stylist?
Okay.
Let me know. I don't know. Like I said, I have tons of clothes, but I have one body and 24 hours in one day, 7 days a week. So it's like I have so many things in my closet alone that I want to try and do, but it's like, and I don't do too many things too. So I'm at the gym sometimes. So it's like, I don't want to wear an outfit to the gym. Yeah. But it's like I love doing that. For a little bit, I was working with my guys, and we were doing the slub and spread love, and it's we're still doing some things with that. But I'm not really a designer. Like I'm not a creator in terms of like creating these clothes or things like that. I like to wear the clothes.
You can see a piece and see the potential and how you can put it together and all that.
That's more me.
Got it.
And again, like, I mean, right, people think like, oh yeah, you could be a designer. Like, no, I learned I'm not a designer. My ideas are when I see the pieces, or I have an idea, or I'll see a movie, right? I'm a big WWE fan.
Okay.
Shawn Michaels, right? I love his ring gear. Like his pants is always crazy.
Yeah.
So like things like that, I can take inspirations, take ideas, take different things, mention one, get to know somebody and their personality, and dress according to them, right? So that if I could do that.
All right, I got 2 follow-up questions. Have you always been into fashion? Fashion. Like ever since you were a little kid, did you really care about what brands you were wearing, how it was put together, or did that develop later?
I blame my mom and dad for sure. I definitely blame my mom and dad. Again, I didn't have Gucci or nothing like that growing up, but yeah, I had Nike, Jordan, right, Polo, things like that, right, since I was a kid. And yeah, like I don't know if that was part of it. Actually, I know that's part of it. But like the love for, I don't know, man. Like to me, I feel like it's the way to express yourself. Like my tattoos, if people do music, things like that. Like I can't draw. I'm a terrible dancer, good at basketball and clothes, right? So that's like how I express myself. So I feel like I think that's something I've always just a way that I've expressed myself. Like it's like, yo, I'm gonna put on something different than you have. And so like growing up, I went through phases. I tried everything, right? I've done everything, tried everything, wore the craziest, color block and everything, right? And so like, I think doing that is kind of molded into where I'm at now.
Cool.
And like I said, and again, being a little older, having your own money, right? Like now I can get into the type of high-end fashion or fashion that I love. Like, so, so yeah.
All right. So then the other thing is just because I don't have as much game as you do in this space, so I'm always trying to figure like, are you like shop? Are you just doing online shopping, or how do you find this stuff? Like, how do you find like?
It's
and this is, you're honestly like you're talking to an old white guy here, so like you gotta.
No, bro, it's terrible, bro. Like it's online, in store. Depends what I'm looking for, right? If I need like an essential tee, like just white tee, I can go in store and stuff. But like again, like certain things, like I'm in my high end fashion stuff. So like these Margiela pants, these are Margiela, Mason Margiela pants. I got them on Essence. So like I get a lot of stuff online, Grailed. I don't know if you know what Grailed is. Yeah. They have it's really where you sell clothes stuff, shoes and stuff, but it's like an eBay almost, right? But it's really for just clothes and high end. They have all types of clothes, but a lot of people sell their high end stuff on there. I get on there and lowball people all day long. Bro. Like seriously, I'm not joking. Like I'd spend too much time on my phone. Like I wake up and think about like, what can I buy today? Even if it's and it's bad.
Gotcha.
It's bad, bro. So
I got you.
It's all day, every day.
I got you. Okay. So we both really love sneakers.
Yes, sir.
So what is your top 3 slept on sneakers of all time? So and like it's hard to define slept on. I know,
okay.
But just like things that like, I mean, you can't give me the Kobe Grinches or whatever because everyone loves those or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's something that you just for you?
So I'll give you a Jordan first, and I don't know the other two brands, but I can give you a Jordan. Okay. Jordan 14s, 15s. Okay. My favorite.
The Ferrari 14.
Yeah, I got the black Ferrari 14. Okay. I don't think they ever released. I got them back in high school. One of my mom's friends, she knows, owns a shoe. He owns like a shoe store out in LA. So I got them. I was able to get those. I had to play out 14s. 14s are like my favorite, man.
Okay.
Like, I think, I don't know, maybe to older sneakerheads, they're not slept on.
Yeah.
But I definitely today and right now, like 14s, bro. Like nobody.
Pretty much anything over 12s is kind of
I could agree. I could agree. So let's say like Jordans,
Jordan
like
14s,
like up there.
I got you.
What else, man? Oh, I was gonna say like the Yeezys, like, and sounds crazy, right? But the newest Yeezys, like the pods, the socks,
okay,
the things like the cheap stuff that he just dropped. I feel like it's slept on. It might have been hype for some people, but every time I wear them, people is like, nobody's never seen they're like, you have socks on? I'm like, yes and no, they're shoes, but they're socks.
Yeah.
And so like, people are like, what are those? Why would you wear those? I'm like, bro, try them. They're $20. First of all, it's $20. Second of all, have you tried them?
Yep.
You're gonna be like, oh wow, I can see.
Yep.
So I would say that because like again, every time I wear them, people are like, what are those? This is hard, bro. There's so many freaking shoes. Oh, Chucks. I would say Chucks Advanced.
Okay.
I don't have them, but I would say, bro, Chucks. You can like even just the Chuck 70s too. Like I know like just the regular Chucks, but the old school Chuck 70s, it's like the little thicker sole, little better quality.
Yeah.
Bro, like you cannot go wrong with this. I think if you can get a black pair of Chucks or a black and white pair of Vans. You could dress you could dress it up, you could dress it down, you could dress it, you can wear it to the gym, you can wear it out, man. You can wear it.
Yeah.
Depending on who you are, what you do, you can wear it to the Met Gala or something, right?
I love
it, Chucks and Vans, man. Yeah, for sure. Slept on.
Sweet. All right, well, here I'm going to go over my three.
Let's see.
The first one is, I have a couple pairs, is the old Reebok Answers. So Allen Iverson, all those that like, they've re-released a couple of pairs over the last few years and all that, but like those shoes are just so crazy. Like I love the basic. It's very simple, but I think they're fire. Number two is Huaraches, and Huaraches, and like the Huarache ones are just because to me they're still the most comfortable shoes I've ever worn. They just fit my feet. I love the Huaraches and all that.
That's a good one.
Okay. And the third one is because I think all white Air Forces are so common. Like there's called the triple white Jordan Lows. The all white Jordan Low ones. The reason why I like them a little bit better than Forces, and I'm the exception to the rule, I know, whatever. But like the reason why I like, because for some reason the Forces seem really bulky to me. Mm-hmm. Like they're really bulky. So like if I'm trying to dress them up with a suit or something like that, it looks bulky.
Slimmer shoe.
But the Jordan 1 Lows are a slimmer shoe, and those so they're a little bit more flexible to me than Forces are.
Okay.
Where if I'm trying to wear a suit, it's a little bit more form-fitting suit and whatever, then all of a sudden I have these big, huge Forces like these.
Yeah.
Like it's like, damn, he's got some Ronald McDonald shoes on or something.
You understand fashion, bro.
Yeah, so I'm getting there.
You get it. See,
I got a little bit.
Right?
Yeah.
You get it.
So, well, good, man. All right, well, I got two more questions for you.
What's up?
So after all you've talked about in your story and things like that, or even if you haven't talked about it, what is like one thing you want to make sure people take away from your story?
Just work hard, love your family. I didn't even get to talk about my kids. I got to talk about my kids.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah, so I am a dad, and I love my kids. I have a 1-year-old and a 5-year-old. The best thing that's happened to me. How did I forget about that part?
We can.
Best thing that's happened to me, man. Transitioning to a dad. man, that's just helped me grow up too. Like I've had to set my priorities straight. I've had to figure out, okay, do I want to do this? Do I want to? Sometimes, like I haven't been hooping as much. I'd rather spend time with my family.
Yeah.
Or I haven't been going the extra mile in certain things, and maybe other aspects of hobbies, or doubling down on wanting to improve too much on whatever because of my family. Like I just want to be around my family. Like so, I've been real family oriented. I have it tattooed on me, family of everything. That was my second tattoo, family of everything. So like that's my biggest thing is just know my family, man. So if you got kids, if you got brothers, sisters, whatever, right? Like we can relate. I'm a family guy. So I love the kids. I love my kids. I love working with kids.
That's good.
I think that's a big thing. Like again, being an athlete, right? We can have a competitive spirit. We can come across maybe as a certain way. I don't know what people think about me. Maybe they like me. Maybe they hate me. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm a family man. I'm a nice guy. I care. I care about people. And I care about like development of not just kids, but the world. It's a crazy place, man. So
I love it, man. It's good. It's powerful. I like it, man.
That's one.
All right. Well, then last question. Sometimes it's the hardest to answer is what's your one favorite thing about hoop?
One favorite thing about basketball?
Yeah, you got to pick
scoring.
Ooh.
Bro, I love the score. I love the score. I love it.
Okay.
Kobe's my favorite player growing up, always has been. So I get it from Kobe, man. Shoot the ball.
I love it.
Shoot the ball. That's an easy question.
Yeah.
I love to shoot.
Yeah, that's sweet. I like it.
I love to score.
So I'll say I'll end with mine, and every once in a while I'll throw this in there. But mine is the moment where you're playing with people that have never hooped with you before, and that moment where they realize that you can hoop.
Yeah.
Where like it was just like nobody really knows, and so you're trying to find your way, and then everyone's like, "Oh, okay, he can hoop."
Bro, that's a great one.
That moment right there, like I'm gonna miss that moment so much.
Yeah.
Because it still happens, like especially like as being an old guy too now. They're like, this old guy, he's got gray in his beard and whatever. And then I'll hit a couple and whatever, and like, he can still hoop. So
you know what's crazy? I look at people like that on the court. I don't know if I'm supposed to say it, but yeah, I look at people sometimes. I'm like, man, this guy. And then, but once they show me, right, I'm like, okay, you get that respect.
It's such a beautiful game, and I love that little moment.
Yeah, man.
About where it is. But
that's
all right, Jordan. Appreciate the time, man.
You, man. Thank you so much.
All right,
brother.
Every time I flick the wrist, you can bet that it's a switch. Realtor for hoopers, welcome to the main event.